Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to the Mixed Media Frenzy YouTube hop. This is our monthly hop that we do the last Friday of the month, and everybody is invited to participate. So if that's something you're interested in, you can find out more on the Mixed Media Frenzy Facebook group. I will put a link for that down below. So I started out with this tile stencil from the Crafter's Workshop, and it's created by Gabrielle Polacco, I think is how you say her name. And I am using some Catherine Pooler ink in Cummerbund, and I am going over it pretty lightly, in fact, with one of my Tailored Expressions blending brushes. And I'm just following along with the beautiful layout from Claudia Rhodes up in the upper right hand corner there, and kind of just lifting her, but in my own colors, my own style, and of course using my own photos that I want to document. So scraplifting is a really fun way to learn new techniques for starters, and to also in most cases I believe it honors the person that actually made the layout, but you got to make sure that you give them credit. So I wanted to make sure that I gave Claudia credit for what she did here, because it's a beautiful layout, really gorgeous. So I pulled out my Dylusions acrylic paint, and the turquoise one is in fact called Vibrant Turquoise, and then the other one is Pomegranate Seed, I believe. It is Pomegranate something. And I really like these two colors together. They're not colors that I would normally probably veer towards putting together, but I thought they were really pretty, and so that is why I went with them. The photograph I have is printed in black and white because it is a Thanksgiving photograph, and everybody's wearing different colors. And so I didn't want to have to deal with all the different colors everybody is wearing, and so I just turned it black and white. I thought that worked out well, and it made me happy to do that. So I pulled out my pink blending brush, which still had some ink on it, so I didn't actually ink it up with anything right off the bat. I just used whatever ink was on it, and then I put it through that beautiful stencil there. I will put a link to the stencil down below as well. And then also the gray blending brush just had some gray left over on it. I went over the pink really lightly because I wanted the pink a little faded out. I didn't want it super bright for that particular stencil. Now I pulled out this leaf stencil. Again, I'll put the link for that one down below. And I went over it really lightly with my Catherine Pooler ink in, I think it's in Sangria. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's Sangria. And so I just went over it super lightly. And in order to do that, I kind of start with my brush not on my paper. I start with it on the stencil and then brush into the stencil or into the paper. Because when you first tap into ink and then you put it down on your paper, it sucks in like everything that it sucks in a large portion of what you have on the tips of your brush. And then you get kind of a darker spot. So I didn't want that to happen. I put it down on and brushed into the paper. Now this wood veneer is absolutely gorgeous. This is from my good friend MK Gunn over at Some Assemblage Required, and she has an Etsy shop. I will put the link down below for that as well. She's amazing, and I absolutely love her work. So I highly recommend you check her shop out. And then I printed out these flowers, and I got those off of Creative Fabrica. And so I will leave the link for that down below as well if you are interested in it. I just printed that on just my regular home printer, but onto some cardstock. And then I am obviously using some Catherine Pooler ink in Catching Rays, which is the yellow color, and I lightened it up by adding quite a bit of water to it and then very lightly going over it because I want it to be a very soft yellow. I don't want it to be bright sunshiny yellow. I want it to be more of like a soft lighter than butter yellow. And then I pulled out my brown ink, which is icing on the cake, I believe, and doing the centers of those sunflowers. So I just sat and did that for a while. It was a really easy process. They dry relatively quickly because even though you add ink or add water, you're not using a lot of it at a large portion of the watery ink at a time. You're just using a little bit. Now, I tried using those 3 little straws rolled up, which is very similar or very much like what Claudia has in her layout, but I was not happy with it. I couldn't make it work in a way that I liked. In fact, the whole rolling process of those was just, can I just say dreadful? I just really did not enjoy that at all. And I've done layouts where I've rolled paper before, but I think because it was so long and it was a really thick cardstock, it was kind of a pain. And so I just said, you know what, I'm not going to use that. I'll do something different. I did go through my bin of colored, pink colored items and turquoise colored items, and I pulled out this frames. And so I thought I would use this pink frame, but rather than using the frame around the outside of the photo, I thought I would matte the photo with the frame. And that worked really well because it allows that pink color to show through, which brings in more of that pomegranate color, and then it also has the saying at the bottom of the frame, and so I thought that was really a nice way to bring that in. Now the acrylic piece and the turkey are both from Color Cast Designs, and I knew I wanted to use the Thanksgiving because this was documenting Thanksgiving. That is my son, his girlfriend, and her parents, and they came over for the first time on Thanksgiving just for a visit. And they were kind of just didn't stay a really long time, which was okay. No problems with that. But it was kind of planned that way. They were just dropping in for a quick visit. So it was nice to be able to sit down and chat with them for a little while and just enjoy them. It's the first time that we've actually been able to get together with all of the COVID stuff. And so, you know, we've been playing it pretty safe. And this was just a really good time to be able to see each other and kind of get to know each other a little bit better. That our kids have been dating for more than 2 years now. And so I thought it was a good opportunity. So I'm just kind of layering up these flowers, kind of like Claudia has in her beautiful layout, very similar in the orientation. And I'm really liking that. And then I pulled out these turquoise acrylic heart. It's a circle with the heart in the middle. Those are also from Color Cast Designs. It's from a different package of acrylic than the Thanksgiving pieces from. But these are kind of things that you can mix and match and make them work for you. So don't feel like you have to use whatever's in the package altogether. And same with MK's stuff. I have used some beautiful stuff of hers in conjunction with some stuff from Colorcast, but I have used things from half of a pack of an item on one layout and half a pack of that same item on a different layout, and it works out fine. Like I said, make it work for you. I do really like the natural look of the wood on these layouts, and so I thought that's fun, especially these fall layouts. That warm wood tone, it's just really pleasing to me. It just keeps everything kind of warm and it kind of brings that natural feel in, which makes me happy. So I am just using my glue to ink up the center of the flowers. I did cup them a little bit by just pressing down in the center with a stylus over a foam, like a mouse pad, or on a chair that's got like a heavy foam on it, like an office chair. Just tapping down in the middle a tiny bit, and then just adhering the center helps give a little bit of dimension to all of those flowers. I didn't put any foam under them or anything like that. There's plenty of dimension with the wood veneer and with those acrylic pieces. And so I wanted to make sure they weren't flat, but I didn't want them to be like popped up super big. They do allow for the wood veneer to be tucked underneath those 2 leaves at the top of the flowers in the center. And so I know it's got plenty of dimension and it's going to work out well. Now I'm just trying to figure out where to nestle in these turquoise acrylic circle hearts. And I am using my Zotz bling to adhere all of those pieces down. And while I do that, I'll remind you that this is a hop that we do every month on the last Friday of the month. So there are other people playing along, lifting this exact same layout. You can check out their channels down below in my description box. And if you scroll beyond that, there will be a list of the items that I used on this layout if you are interested in any of those items. Some of them may or may not be in stock anymore. I have no idea. But most of them I got recently. So, yeah. So I will link you to that, and you can find those things if you are interested in them. But check out everyone else who's playing along, because they're going to have tons of great inspiration. I can't wait to see everyone's take on this layout. This has been my favorite one so far. I really like the way that it came out, and I really like the softness of the stenciling with the brushes. I just think it looks really cool. It's like a hint of color, but it's not in your face. So I don't know, it just makes me happy. So I hope it makes you happy too. Now I'm just using my acrylic block to hold things down while I work on something else. When I add a little bit of liquid glue, sometimes I use the weight of the acrylic block just to do that for me as a kind of a third hand. So in case you're wondering why the acrylic block is sitting on top of the photo, that's why. Now I'm just trimming off the flowers that are hanging over the edge. I do like to leave them hanging over the edge. It makes me feel like it's not like it's part of something larger and not just, you know, I didn't just use the center of the paper, if you will. Maybe there is more pattern going on beyond what you actually see. And I just like the way that that looks. And so I'm tucking in a couple extra flowers. I did create way more flowers than I actually needed, but that's okay. When I am all done, all of those yellow flowers will go into my bin of yellow ephemera and yellow stickers and such. And so they will be there again if I need them down the road. And that's what I do with all my little extras. Now I did pull out my roller date stamp. She had some things stamped in her layout, so I pulled out a couple of mine. I think that one says delightful, and I can't remember what the other one says, maybe blessed or thankful or something like that. And you'll see it in the close-ups. These roller date stamps are quite old, so I'm not going to list those down below because I'm sure they're not available at this point. I've had them for many, many, many years. Now lastly, I am going to use some enamel dots just to kind of finish things off. And these enamel dots are from Gina Marie Designs. You can look her up on the internet and it will take you to her website. I don't know the URL, but if you just type in Gina Marie Designs, it will come up. Her enamel dots are fabulous. You do have to use a little bit of liquid glue because they don't stay 100% if you don't, but you get quite a few for only $2.25. And I think that's a great price for enamel dots. Usually it's like almost $5 and you don't get as many as what she actually gives you. So I hope that you enjoyed this hop today, and I hope you enjoyed this layout. If you did, I would really appreciate if you give me a thumbs up down below. And if you're not currently subscribed to my channel, I would love for you to subscribe as well. And don't forget to check out everyone else who's playing along. If you have questions or comments, leave them down below. I don't answer right away all the time, so be patient and I will get back to you as quickly as I can. Thank you so much for spending time with me today and choosing to watch my channel. I really do appreciate it. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.